not like in 2020 that as a business we lost money, because that definitely did not happen. In fact, we made the most money that we've ever made in a year in 2020. I hope that didn't sound too full of hubris or something.
Sounded great.
But yeah, but it's just, you kind of raised the flag of, all right, I feel like we should be making more based on the numbers I'm seeing in the account. And so that's how it all started.
Yeah, because we have we started out with one bank account, then it grew into two, then it grew into four, six. So we've kind of been able to isolate different stores and manage different things separately. So I can see, okay, is this account going up? Is this account going up? And I saw that one account was just not going up like it should. And yeah, after our conversation with Braden, that prompted a more thorough checkup of the account and every single in and out of the business. And it's no easy task when you have a business that does, 400,000 a month and hundreds of transactions. So how do we tackle it?
Well, one other thing I also want to add was that 2020 was quite a unique year in the fact that there were supply chain interruptions, and we had back orders and things like that, and situations where we're paying suppliers and they're going to ship it out later. We're reserving units of inventory and things like that. So that added another layer of complexity, I would say, to the whole thing.
Yeah, I would agree because, we had back order situations and refunds and yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I guess the majority of it came from refunds that we were supposed to get from the supplier that we had already given the customer. And so, Joe, let's talk about just that kind of observation you made as far as profit percentage when it comes to making a sale versus not getting refunded on a sale.
Yes. Well, think about this. If you make, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I gotta visualize it. So if you make $100,000 worth of sales, and say you have a 15% margin, just maybe 20%, that means you're making $20,000. But if you're getting $20,000 in refunds and you don't get those refunds back in a given month, like the supplier doesn't, you've paid the supplier and they don't pay you, that essentially means you've lost almost what you've made.
Yeah, that means you've broken even. But the point is that it's so over leveraged in the other direction, where it takes you $100,000 of revenue to make $20,000. All it takes is $20,000 in lost refunds for you to lose $20,000 because you're losing 100%.
Yes,
and that's the problem. Is that if your profit margin is 30%, if it's 20%, if it's 10%, then you only have so much ground that you can cover on an initial sale. But every time you lose out on one of those, it's basically like one step forward, you lose a refund, 10 steps back.
Absolutely.
And so every single refund that you don't catch is having a detrimental effect on your business. And I think we had been naive to this idea before because we had assumed that, these suppliers were more put together businesses. They're legit businesses. We're just these lowly little drop shippers. They'll be taking care of their finances, of course, sure. But you come to find out, Joe, much like growing up into an adult, that no one really knows what they're doing, right?
Yeah. And Mohammed actually left a question in the chat, but why wouldn't the supplier refund you if you have this written out in the contract? It's just a mistake. It's just like Mike said, they're not the competent, their business is not running on automation. They have people issuing out us refunds and then they forgot to press the button. So that said, we are getting this money back now. We are recouping these funds. We're getting checks in the mail left and right from missing refunds, but we've only gone back to, what was it, April, May, June. Those are the only months of 2020 that we've done. We haven't analyzed every year we've been in business. So we could have money sitting on the table going back quite a long time.
Could be hundreds of thousands, but
Well, I don't think it's that, because since 2020 was such an increase, I feel like we had some of our biggest months in 2020. I feel like maybe uh, the bigger the months, the more missing refunds you can have. So that's what I'm hoping.
yeah, I mean, I guess just the more orders you have, the more percentage there is of something getting lost in the mix, especially when you have more back orders too.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of it comes when, you're because of these supply chain issues, suppliers are holding back orders, and then customers don't want to wait, and then we fund the customer. We tell the supplier to refund us, and they just don't do it. But it's just not a feasible thing to wait for a refund to post before you refund the customer. It's just not good service. And yeah, I mean, you should expect your supplier to be competent and, refund you. And it's not necessarily a total lack of competence. It's just, they're probably in the same boat. They have a bunch of orders they have to get out. They're dealing with the supply chain issues head on. And so, I don't know exactly how it works when you actually are managing inventory and how that could happen, but it happens. And, I'm curious, Joe, to dive in on more of our businesses and see exactly, what we can find in the trash per se.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, you think about like when the government like passes like bills and stuff, or like when they, what do they call it? They call it like trimming the fat or something, where it's like, or I don't know, some sort of weird phrase, but it's like you have so much. There's, as the numbers get bigger, the amount of things you can find that can result in big numbers get bigger. So it's kind of similar to like conversion rate optimization in a way, where it's like if you're getting millions and millions of visitors and you tweak it and improve something 1%, you're going to see a big increase.